Discover why central banks are buying gold, why many Americans are diversifying with precious metals, and how a tax and penalty-free rollover into physical gold and silver may fit into your retirement strategy. Don't wait until the next crisis dominates the headlines. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 right now. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
President Trump rang the opening bells for the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ from the Oval Office, a symbolic act that was aimed at promoting the launch of those Trump accounts to give kids access to investing. At the close on Wall Street, the Dow was up 155 points. The S&P 500 gained 54, and the NASDAQ gained 288 points. Here's something that could bode well for prices at the gas pump.
A handful of countries in the OPEC Plus oil-producing cartel are planning to step up their output next month. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies say 7 countries will expand oil production by a combined total of 188,000 barrels per day in August. It was the 5th consecutive month that the group known as OPEC Plus agreed to raise its oil production. Rich Thomason reporting.
And for the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
On 107 The Point.
Here's the night's forecast. Warm this evening, a low dipping down to 76. Tomorrow, much like today, a blend of sunshine and clouds, a high of 94, and that same 30% chance we get showers in the afternoon. Similar for the rest of the week, highs in the mid-90s, lows in the mid-70s, and a slight 20 to 30% chance for rain each afternoon. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com. The Point.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk, Sports Talk Media Network. Welcome into a manic Monday as we turn the corner from the July 4th weekend. But I know a lot of you are on vacation. I know a lot of coaches this time of year is when they get on the vacation trail. It's when things really kind of slow down around here in the sports world, but not for long. Things are starting to fall into place. We got notice today that Dabo Swinney will have his annual meeting with the media next Tuesday before the ACC Media Days in Charlotte. Matt Smith will be at ACC Media Days. Chris Bergen will go up for the Dabo Swinney and assistant coaches thing at Clemson next Tuesday. We got the notice that the Shane Beamer, Birdies with Beamer, or in my case, Bogies with Beamer, will be on July 30th. Over at Cobblestones. We got that down. Of course, SEC Media Days will come before that. I'll be in Tampa for SEC Media Days. So it's time to lock in with us here on Sports Talk as we're going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff for you in the month of July, then rolling into August and getting ready for camps getting underway. Camps will be getting underway. We'll be covering the camps. We'll be doing our tour. We'll be having a lot of fun, and will we have an exciting football season here in the state of South Carolina? Who will be the surprise team? You know, last year, when you think about it, we had, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 surprises. South Carolina stunk. That was a surprise. Clemson was just above stinking, but they were pretty close to stinking. That was a surprise. Newberry made it to the national semis in Division II. I think that was a surprise. Benedict won. Did they win their league? They made it to the playoffs, won a couple of playoffs games, or won a playoff game. They were kind of a surprise. And Presbyterian was a big surprise. Is that like 5 surprises we had last year? Some good, some bad. What about this year? Surprise, surprise. I guess we'll find out here before too long, but that's what makes the season worth living for. This other garbage is just a waste of time. Well, it's not a waste of time when you're acquiring your players, but everything else around it, new uniforms, getting the color right, free agents, moving here, moving there, commitments, will they stick, will they won't stick? All that is just a bunch of malarkey for the most part until we get to playing the games. The games, that's what it's all about. So we're counting down toward the games now and looking forward to it. So, Phil Kornblut here at our studios in Columbia for a couple of days with the plumber. You didn't have to hug me quite so hard, plumber, when I walked in. The plumber, Josh Cohen. Chris Bergen has the night off. So, got a great show lined up for you tonight. Recruiting, we'll catch up on that. Some big stuff for South Carolina over the weekend. Football and baseball for the Gamecocks. We'll go over all the recruiting stuff for you. We'll have Zach Willis at 7:35 talking defense. Remember last week he talked offense. Tonight he'll go over the defensive side of things, South Carolina and Clemson, and maybe some other stuff. And we're hoping to have Stephen Garcia on with us tonight. He did acknowledge and accept our invitation earlier today. Now, he's been out fishing, and we've not been able to pin down an exact time. Might be 6:35, might be 7:05. Hopefully it will happen. Catch up with him on how he's doing in his battle with cancer. Plus, Dabo Sweeney paid him a visit either yesterday or over the weekend sometime. There was a picture that Garcia posted with him and Sweeney, and he was very appreciative of Sweeney going down to see him. Now, that's in Tampa, and I think Sweeney might have some property over that way, so he might have been down on vacation, might have been down with the fam, and went over to see Garcia somewhere. That's awfully kind of him to do just that. So we got all that and a bunch more to talk about. Phone lines, are they open, plumber? Phone lines are open. 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to reach us here on Sports Talk, 888-898-2525. And our text line number is 803-900-4847. 803-900-4847. Love to get text messages. We'll also check out messages coming at us on social media. Our Facebook page, Mike Gillespie, longtime sportscaster here in Columbia, has joined forces with us here on Sports Talk, the Sports Talk Media Network, and he's working with us in particular on the digital side, really doing great stuff on our Facebook page. So check out our Facebook page, Sports Talk Media Network. You'll see some great stuff, not just about South Carolina Clemson, but other things in the sports world that are important and are interesting. So Sports Talk Media Network on our Facebook page. And, of course, our X page is SC Sports Now. You want to make sure you're on that, SC Sports Now. And our website, which was beautifully redone by the plumber. You need somebody to do a website? You want to put yourself out there to do websites for people, plumber?
If you advertise for me, you don't get a cut, correct? I'm not giving
you a cut. Well, I'm going to charge you for the advertising. So if I complete this sentence, that'll be $500.
So a commission.
Well, I get $500 for your advertising. If I complete this sentence.
Well, don't complete the sentence.
Reach out to the plumber if you need a website done. The guy's got the ability to throw a website up there and do a great job. So our newly designed website, SportsTalkSC.com, SportsTalkSC.com, that's there for you. And where else are we? Everything's in podcast form. The show bits, different pieces, and you can find that at SoundCloud and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
front page of the website.
Wherever podcasts are sold. Yeah, front page of the website. Everything is housed there. So that's good. Okay. So that's all that. And it's good to be back here in the studio for a couple of days. I'm here today, tomorrow, Wednesday night from Atlanta. Then I'm gone for a week and then be back. I think I'm back that next Friday. I think I'll be back for that next Friday. Maybe here, maybe in Atlanta. I'm not sure yet. But you'll be in good hands. You'll have the plumber. You'll have Bergie. Smitty will be the ACC Media Days. That'll be big, of course, all of next week. That'll be the main story, what's happening there in Charlotte with those ACC teams. That should be good stuff. And then the following week, of course, down in Tampa with the SEC. So that's what we've got coming up for you. Before we do anything else, Plummer, how was your 4th of July?
Uneventful.
That's good. I mean, you didn't have any fireworks go off in your hand or near you? Or...
I did not see a single firework.
That's good. Didn't you see one?
No, I didn't even. I was in my
you
house.
You didn't look up in the sky?
No.
No?
I went to go see a movie on the 4th.
What'd you see?
Went to go see the Minions movie. A children's
Is that
movie.
a cartoon?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I like Bugs Bunny.
A little bit more childish than Bugs Bunny.
Okay. Was it good?
Sure. Yeah. It was,
did you take a date?
No, I did not. No. Haven't made
Good
it there
move.
yet.
Good move on your part. Good move. Okay. Well, I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Weather was really hot. Had a nice storm come through Columbia today, so that was good. We got some rain out where I live. We needed that in the worst way. And let's catch up on some things. Of course, I guess the big story in the world is South Carolina and Belgium tonight in the World Cup.
South Carolina and Belgium?
I mean, I'm sorry. The United States and Belgium in the World Cup.
Got to correct you on that one.
Tells you where my mind is. The United States and Belgium in the World Cup in Seattle. And the controversy, I guess you could say, over President Trump stepping in and getting the red card removed by FIFA. And reaction to that, of course, usually falls along political lines, of course. And, I mean, look, I'm not going to say anything here that's going to interest anybody because I'm not a soccer person. I couldn't really tell you what's going on, to be honest with you. But I will say this. I don't like the idea of any president stepping in and suggesting he said he suggested that they review the play. He called the head of FIFA and suggested that they review the play, which, of course, if you're the guy getting the phone call, the head of FIFA getting the phone call from the president of the United States who's hosting the event, and he suggests something, where do you think it's going to lead? So I don't like, I know politics has, become a big part of everything we do in sports now, Olympics, World Cup, you name it, anything international competition. It's, if they got the flag involved, it's going to be political. But I just don't think our president, whoever it is, I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat, Communist, Socialist, Green Party, Libertarian, whoever it happens to be, we just don't need that. I'm sorry. I just don't think we need political presidential interference. I know, America's excited because the best guy is going to get to play after having to sit out like a half hour of the previous game. You wouldn't feel that way if, let's just say, you were playing Canada and Canada's best player got red flagged, or what do they call it? Red carded. I'm sorry. A little NASCAR jargon. Got red carded in his prior game, and then the Prime Minister of Canada, calls in and gets that, suggests they take a look at it and they overturn it, et cetera, et cetera. And they were, and that gave Canada, who's playing the United States, their best player back. I don't think you'd be happy about that. So I can understand why the Belgian people and others who aren't in favor, who aren't pulling for the United States, would be opposed to that. Personally, I just would like to see the political figures stay out of it. And, mistakes are made in athletics. They had the opportunity to get it right. They had the opportunity to replay it maybe. Do the rules allow them to replay it? I guess. I don't know. I mean, clearly, I guess there should not have been a red card on that play. It wasn't that egregious a foul, et cetera, et cetera. But, officials make mistakes in every level of sport. And, my gosh, are we going to start having the politicians now calling in? We're going to have governors calling in when the team from their state loses the Super Bowl because of a call, and they're going to call Roger Goodell and suggest, hey, man, if you want your taxes cut in our state or whatever, you need to take a look at it. I mean, come on. Where do we draw the line on this stuff? That's all. I'm just trying to apply a little bit of common sense here and leave the politicians out of it. But, all that being said, Good luck to the United States tonight. Exciting to see the Americans advancing while it's on home turf, and we'll see if they can take care of business. I don't know. Are they the better team? Are they favored tonight, Plummer? Do you know? Is the United States generally considered the better team tonight?
Phil, I have no idea about soccer.
Good.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you what teams are playing in the World Cup.
You're in the right place. Well, teams from around the world.
Yeah, but how do they get chosen? Is it every country has a soccer team they get chosen?
Well, there's a tournament that gets you into the tournament. You have to qualify to get into the World Cup. This much I know. You have to qualify. And look, I'm not playing stupid about the World Cup to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I truly don't know anything about soccer or the World Cup. Have paid very little attention to it. It's not my focus in life. But, I'm excited for the United States. Are people more excited? I was just thinking about this the other day. Are people more excited about the United States men's soccer team having a chance to win the World Cup? Or are they more excited about the United States hockey team in the Olympics having a chance to win an Olympic gold medal when that time comes? Or the women's teams, in those respective sports? So, I don't know. I guess whichever sport happens to be in play is the one that you get excited about. So, I think it's great. And good luck to them. I think they kick it off tonight at about 8 o'clock Eastern time in Seattle. So that is but the other big story of the day, who wants to be president of Clemson University? You want to be president? Yeah. What would you do if you were president? What would be the first thing you do?
Shut it down.
Oh.
First thing, shut it down. Add a second USC campus.
What would you turn into USC West?
USC Clemson.
USC Clemson.
It's the Clemson campus of USC.
I got you. So this comes out today. Justin Thind, who covers Michigan State, this is a sports guy who broke this story, and he says that he's been told Michigan State is set to retain their president, Kevin Guskowitz. A major twist, he'll sign a 5-year extension worth $1 million a year at Michigan State, less than what he had recently accepted at Clemson. He also does not wish to retain the AD, Jay Batt, who's already on his way to Kentucky anyway. So Clemson reportedly, in the market for a new president. It has to be a shock to the system for the Tigers. They're all about flipping commitments, but not having one like this flipped from them.
Is that a flush?
It's a flip.
Well, what is a flush? I feel like that's been kind of lost in the
A flush is
talk.
when you flip one way and then flip back the other way. So
wasn't he the interim president though at USC or at Clemson? Excuse me.
He had never gotten to Clemson. I don't think. I don't think he had started getting on campus.
Well, isn't that a flip then?
I don't think he'd gotten to campus yet. I don't think. So, I think a flush is when. I tell you, a flush should be like we did a flush earlier. The Gamecock pitcher who went to Mississippi State and now's coming back.
Gotcha.
That'd be a flush.
So this would be a regurgitation of presidency.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good way to put it. Anyway, Clemson's looking for a president now again, so I'm sure this is upsetting and surprising time up there at Clemson to be dealing with this kind of stuff. Let's see what else. Want to send this out at the very start of the show here tonight. Our condolences here from Sports Talk to the family of Mr. Carl Gooding, also known as the Big Dog, in Allendale and Hampton. Their station, owned by the Gooding family, WDOG, down in Barnwell and Allendale and Hampton. Great radio station. A great local, family-owned radio station. And Mr. Gooding was a very popular morning show host. If you ever listen to his show in the mornings down there, and I'd heard it a few times driving through, it was a very, very unique show and very popular with the listeners down there. So send out our best to the family. Rick Gooding, his son, who is now running the station, been running the station, the businesses, and also is on the air down there and does football for do they do Barnwell? Maybe they mix it up. Barnwell, a little Allendale Fairfax at times, and maybe some Hampton County. Hampton County, of course, been very good. Barnwell High School is going to soon become a county school, so the town of Barnwell will be losing their local school there. But anyway, Just want to mention that we want to send our condolences out to the Gooding family and on their loss of Mr. Carl Gooding, who not only was a important member of the town from the radio broadcasting standpoint, but he was a huge economic leader in that area. Had all kind of roles and responsibilities. He got he received the Order of the Palmetto back in 2024. So wish the family well in their time of mourning here for the passing of Mr. Carl Gooding. All right, with that, let's hit the break, and we'll come back with more here on Sports Talk. Our phone number is 888-898-2525. We got plenty of time for your phone calls tonight. I'm going to cross our fingers and hope that we'll be able to connect with Stephen Garcia, maybe bottom of this hour, if not maybe top of the second hour. Zach Willis, recruiting as well, so we got a lot to do on this Manic Monday edition of Sports Talk from here in Columbia and across the state. We'll be back in just a moment.
It might be tough to picture your kid in college today, but it'll be here before you know it. Future Scholar, South Carolina's 529 college savings plan, makes it easy to start saving right now. You can start with any amount. Savings grow tax-free, and friends and family can chip in too. Discover the smart, easy way to save today at FutureScholar.com. That's FutureScholar.com. That's FutureScholar.com.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
When I was in high school, my coach liked to say, "You don't rise to low expectations." And that's just always stuck with me. So with the help of my lottery-funded life scholarship, I was able to get a degree in secondary education. Now it's my turn to invest in my athletes, the same way my coaches did for me. Who knows? Maybe one day they'll do the same for someone else.
Better coaches means a better South Carolina. And a better South Carolina means a better you. Visit SCEducationLottery.com/betteryou.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. That's the sound of a big hit on you and your car or truck. I've been an attorney for more than 30 years, helping people who get injured in car wrecks and truck wrecks. If you have serious injuries, call Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968, or email me at jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. That's CORBETT. I don't get paid unless I recover for you. Jim Corbett Attorney, for your best recovery from a big hit, 803-765-2968, or jim@jimcorbettattorney.com.
Founders Federal Credit Union has some exciting news for our members. We're proud to announce early pay coming later this month to Founders members. Get paid up to 2 days early. Yes, you heard that right. Once Founders is notified of an upcoming direct deposit on your account, Founders will automatically credit that account early by up to 2 days. If you still need to switch your direct deposit to Founders, stop by an office or use Founders online or the Founders app today. No other action is needed. Initial processing times vary. To learn more about Founders Early Pay, visit foundersfcu.com/early pay. If you're not a Founders member yet, now's the perfect time to join. Stop by an office near you or visit us online at foundersfcu.com to learn more about everything that Founders has to offer and to see if you qualify for membership with Founders. Federally insured by NCUA, membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply. Founders does not guarantee early posting.
Yeah, Clemson's put out a post this afternoon that the Board of Trustees was notified that Kevin Guskowitz has chosen to remain at Michigan State for personal reasons. The national search had a robust pool of candidates, and the board will be meeting soon to determine the next steps. That is from Clemson University. Let's go to Keith in Camden. Maybe he'd like to be president of Clemson. Welcome in, Keith. How are you?
I'm doing great, Phil. How you doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
Good. I didn't get to chime in. I want to go back to the Nike thing, and we all understand that uniform colors and combinations does not win ball games. And people would say, well, I'll take 11 wins. I don't care if they're wearing pink.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, this is another example of just financial gain, whatever that might be. I look, it's kind of confusing what we're getting for it. But to think that they're going to accept something other than the garnet color, I can go into any paint store and there's a combination of formulas that create this color, and to think that we're accepting, well, this is the colors we have, maroon and so-and-so. I can't believe it. It's just crazy.
Well, I'm looking at some video that the football program's media department has put out today showing players working out in their new Nike T-shirts, and the color looks pretty close to garnet to me in this particular video. Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty close to what garnet should look like. So I don't know if this is just a particular set of T-shirts. This is what was talked about when the announcement and the release came out on Wednesday, and even Jeremiah Donati acknowledged that it wasn't garnet and kind of shrugged his shoulders and based on his comments to the media that he talked to and said, that's the way it is, and they'll get as close as they can. And but this particular video, well, hang on, we got to hit this break and we'll come back to you. But I'll just say this particular video, the shirts do look pretty close to garnet to me. Be back in a moment.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
On 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Warm this evening, a low dipping down to 76. Tomorrow, much like today, a blend of sunshine and clouds, a high of 94, and that same 30% chance we get showers in the afternoon. Similar for the rest of the week, highs in the mid-90s, lows in the mid-70s, and a slight 20 to 30% chance for rain each afternoon. I'm Cal Moss with your on-point local weather.
At Palmetto State Armory, we offer the largest selection of guns and ammunition at unbeatable prices. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to provide personalized assistance, ensuring you find exactly what you need. If you enjoy outdoor activities like hunting, camping, or hiking, our clothing and outdoor gear collection has got you covered. We also feature an exceptional indoor range facility where you can experience the thrill of shooting in a safe and controlled environment. Visit us today at PalmettoStateArmory.com or your local retail store. Palmetto State Armory, American made for life.
Tyler with SRN News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Russia has launched a massive missile and drone attack on Ukraine, killing at least 22 people. The assault highlights gaps in Ukraine's air defenses, particularly the need for more U.S.-made Patriot interceptor missiles. 15 people were killed Monday in Kyiv, Russia's main target, while 6 others were killed in the wider regions surrounding the capital. A former campus police officer says he found an apparent sniper pad on a gravel rooftop near where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Monday's courtroom testimony by the former officer comes as prosecutors seek to show they have enough evidence to put defendant Tyler Robinson on trial for murder. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 155 points. The Nasdaq rose 288. The S&P advanced 54. This is SRN News.
Hey y'all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks y'all and God bless.
Get ready for a summer of adventure with Founders Federal Credit Union. Now through July 31st, you can take advantage of a special 5.99% APR on select travel purchases made with your Founders credit card. Whether you're planning a road trip across the state, a relaxing beach getaway, or finally checking off that bucket list destination, we're here to help you make it happen. With this promotional APR, you can enjoy your summer without the stress of high interest rates. Pack your bags, gather your loved ones, get moving on your dream vacation. Founders makes it easy to enjoy more. So go ahead, kick back, relax, and soak up every sub-soak moment of your well-deserved summer break without breaking your budget. Learn more and see the list of qualifying purchases at foundersfcu.com/cc. Let Founders help you take the trip of a lifetime. Promotional rate ends February 1st, 2027. Effective APR of 12.5 to 17.9% will apply. Terms and conditions apply. Membership qualification required.
South Carolina summers are hot and humid and hard on your air conditioner. When your home stops feeling comfortable, call Sweet Comfort Services. We're family owned and operated with over 30 years of heating and air experience. From service and maintenance to complete system replacement, we're here to keep your family cool. We'll even meet or beat any quote from a licensed competitor. Schedule your appointment online at sweethvac.com or call 803-331-8143. Sweet Comfort Services, comfort you can count on.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-358-9218. 800-358-9218. 800-358-9218.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
All right, a couple of quick things, and we'll get back to phone calls. 888-898-2525. Text messages. 803-900-4847. Don't forget our phone number, 888-898-2525. That is the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. You can learn more about the lottery's impact at sceducationlottery.com/educationwins. And playing for fun is a win for education. Text line brought to you by Larry Lucas, State Farm Agency. Larry Lucas in Columbia and Lexington, LarryLucasAgency.com. Give Larry a call at 803-799-1998 or in Lexington, 803-359-0770. Poll question of the week. They don't play for 21 more Saturdays. Seems like a long time, right? But you know what? It'll be here before you know it. They don't play for 21 more Saturdays, but if USC and Clemson were playing this Saturday at Death Valley, based on what you know now, who would win? 76.5% say the Gamecocks. 23.5% say the Tigers. Got plenty of time to vote and sway the voting. So get your vote in on our X account, SC Sports Now, SC Sports Now, and let your voice be heard there. Who do you think would win? Let's go back to Keith in Camden. He was with us before the break. So who do you think would win if South Carolina Clemson were playing in the Valley this Saturday based on what you know now about the two teams?
I'd rather play them tomorrow.
Oh, you're ready for them now, huh?
Yeah, bring them on. Bring them on.
So you think the Gamecocks would win up there if they were playing?
Yep. First game. I like our chances better then than the end of the year.
Hmm?
Yep.
No, both.
But
yeah.
Let's go back to the Nike thing.
Yeah,
if we
go
can.
ahead. Yeah.
You know, I get it. The name recognition, the people that, you know, Michael Jordan and all the numerous famous athletes that have propped that company up for years. I don't understand it. you look at the product, its name recognition, the quality's terrible. 90% of it comes from Indonesia and Vietnam. They do nothing to support the United States. So I'm not a big Nike guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, alumni, 50 years has been Garnet. And then the Naughty, how long has he been in town? Year and a half?
Yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter to him. And
well, I would hope it would
I
matter.
don't know.
I would hope it would matter. I would hope it would matter all the way up the ladder of the administration because, Garnet, it's very simple to me. Okay, it's very simple to me. Garnet is Garnet. Red is not Garnet. Maroon is not Garnet.
Thank you.
And whatever. And there's this very specific, as the plumber pointed out last week when we were talking about it, there's a very specific formula and name for the color garnet that companies make and sell to people who need the color garnet. Now, Michigan, they're a Nike team. They're a Michael Jordan. They're an Air Jordan team. That's their uniforms, Air Jordan. Would you dare present Michigan with anything that didn't meet the standards of maize and blue? Would you dare present Ohio State with anything that didn't meet scarlet and gray? These schools demand perfection when it comes to that part of their tradition. I don't understand if it's not. And again, we're not saying it's off. They're saying it's off. It's coming from, up above, that they've acknowledged that the color is not directly hitting on garnet. And they're making the thing that got me, the only reason I brought this up, I could care less. Again, uniforms are uniforms. I don't care what they're wearing and what the color is. You know that. I don't get into all that kind of nonsense. But what got me going was the lack of response and the lack of, well, we'll get this fixed immediately. No. It was more, hey, that's just the way it is. We're just going to accept it and move on, let them rub our little heads and hand us our $500,000 a year and our shoes and our cleats and our jerseys, and we'll just take whatever they give us. That is a loser mindset to me. It's a loser's mindset, and I think that's been a part of South Carolina athletics ever since it was born, a loser's mindset, and they got to get out of that. No one should accept that at South Carolina. Sorry. And Plummer, he put the blame on South Carolina for accepting it, and maybe that's where it belongs. Nike should be able to make garnet, for crying out loud. Why can't you make garnet?
They can. It's just really much more expensive.
So what? How much money does Nike make?
Too much, probably.
Look it up. What are they, 50, 60 billion a year? I don't know.
Completely international company. I can look it up.
I think they could
how
afford.
much.
Yeah, I think they could afford to make garnet, if it cost them an extra nickel.
They make $46.4 billion a year in revenue.
Okay. I think they can afford it.
Sure.
So, I don't know. What's your answer to it?
He's gone.
Oh, we lost Keith. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my response to that. And, hey, if they're happy with the product they got, so be it. If they think all it takes is the swoosh to make everybody happy, so be it. We'll see what it does for them. All right, phone number 888-898-2525 and text line number 803-900-4847. This is from the 803. Now I believe Keith does not like any AD that runs Carolina. Keith, you're becoming popular out there, man. People are responding to you. He really has not liked the ADs at South Carolina in a while. From Daryl in the 803, Phil, how did you feel in 1972 Olympics when the Russians got to play until they won in the gold medal basketball game? I felt terrible. How'd you feel? I felt terrible. Maybe our president of the time, who was the president? Nixon. Maybe Nixon should have called in. Was he still president in 72? He didn't leave until 73, right? 73, 74. Maybe he should have called up and said, hey, let's overturn that thing. No, I feel terrible. Who wouldn't have felt? We got ripped off, robbed, cheated, the whole deal. Kevin Joyce refused. In fact, I believe the whole team refused to accept the silver medal afterwards because they got so ripped off. I don't know what that's got to do with this, but to answer your question, I felt terrible. Where are we going next?
Debbie in Columbia.
All right, Debbie, right here in Columbia. Welcome in. Good to have you with us. How are you?
I'm fine. I just want to say regarding the issue with the color issue with the Gamecock uniforms, it is a big deal. I'm a Carolina graduate. I've been a Gamecock since I was 5. I grew up on Frank McGuire basketball. Garnet is not red. I'm not a Georgia fan. I'm not an Alabama fan. It is a big deal. It's a huge, and I've got a real good solution. All we've got to do, hey, numbers speaks volumes. Everyone needs to boycott and go out there and not buy one piece of that Nike stuff, because you know what I did years ago when Colin Kaepernick and all that. I washed my hands of NFL football. I washed my hands of Nike back then. I threw everything Nike in my closet away, and I was an athletic person. I played tennis. I had Nike shoes. I had Nike this. I threw it all in the trash and have washed my hands of Nike, and I will not buy one piece of this clothing from Nike. And whoever orchestrated and whoever worked that deal for Carolina with their legal office or whoever, they should be fired, because it is a big deal, sir. It is. That's our colors, garnet and black, not red and black.
Have you have you been out to a Gamecock store? Have you looked at the new stuff in person to get your hands on, just to look at it?
I was going to do that, but I have some health issues, so I'm limited on the strength I have to go out each day.
Okay.
So I within the next few days, I do plan on doing that. But no, sir, I'm sitting here in a Carolina shirt right now, my little Gamecock shirt, baseball shirt. Look, no, garnet and red are not the same, and it is a big deal. It might not be a big deal to you, sir, but to Carolina alumni members like myself, it is a big deal. And you know what? I'm serious. Do not buy the merchandise. Protest. And that will show. Hurt them in the pocketbook and they'll change.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your phone call.
Thank you.
Yep. When you get out and take a look at it, call back and let us know what you think. I mean, I haven't seen it in person. I've only seen, the videos and the pictures and the displays. And again, my only response to this thing is, Debbie, I agree with you. It is a big deal. I'm saying it is a big deal. It should be garnet. We shouldn't be having this discussion. The first box unloaded should have been as garnet as you could make garnet. All right. Because it's, first impressions are very important, right? You're getting your first impression of the new product, and it should be right. It shouldn't be off a little bit, and there shouldn't be excuses made from every direction. As I mentioned the other night, I saw one of the Gamecock Insider boys writing from one of their websites who just, wrote it off by saying, well, no matter what the color is, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically said, no matter what the actual color is, when the jersey's on a Gamecock, it's garnet. And I'm sorry, it's not. I mean, again, there's standards. There's standards that need to be met. And garnet is garnet, and red is red, and orange is orange. I saw a picture of the new jerseys that Adidas has made for Tennessee. Tennessee's gone Adidas. And it looked like the Tennessee orange that it always has looked like. Wasn't a little shade off here, a little shade off there. Didn't notice any complaints from the Tennessee people about it. So apparently Adidas must have gotten it right for Tennessee, as far as I can tell. Go to Hank in Columbia. Next up here on Sports Talk. Hank, welcome in. How are you?
Okay. I'm fine, going.
Yep.
But the Tennessee thing is kind of off air, because remember, Tennessee was only Nike for like a couple of years. For years and years and years, when we were going up to Tennessee in the 80s and 90s, they were Adidas. And basically, they were Adidas' biggest brand. So whatever they wouldn't do for anybody, they did for Tennessee. So basically, Tennessee went back to Adidas. This thing with the garnet thing, I think it's crazy, because when we first got Under Armour, and it took Under Armour like 2 or 3 years to get it right. It came in, and people said, well, it's not the same shade as this. It's not the same as, or whatever that first thing we had. It was not the same as the Reebok or the name is, but it was something that kept more, and we wore the same. And so I think it's just something that will be an adjustment over time anytime you do something new. If I saw it, I thought it would go crazy, but when I've seen a couple of things I've seen, and I've actually seen some of this really close. It's just like you, we were watching the guys work out. If nobody had ever said anything, when you were watching those guys work out, would you have been able to tell that wasn't garnet?
Yeah, the video I saw today looked like it was garnet to me. But again, I'm only reacting to what people have written and posted.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. I'm not. Sometimes I think a little information is too much for some people.
Well, you don't want to fool people. I mean, people are going. If it's not the right color, people are going to figure it out for themselves quickly enough. I mean, you can't fool people. They walk into one of the Gamecock clothing stores and see a rack of that stuff, and they look at it and they go, "That's not exactly garnet. That's not exactly the color that I've grown up with."
But have you ever looked at the Under Armour T-shirts versus the T-shirts that I can't remember the other? When you go in the stores to buy these shirts, T-shirts and stuff, some of them are Under Armour, but then some of them. But this is before the night. Some of them are, I can't remember the brand, and you get 3 shades of it in the same way. I remember some every shirts came out in 3 different shades. I'm just saying that I think that whatever the information that came out, it turned into the biggest thing, and then I was big. Then I saw a shirt.
We got to let you go because
you couldn't tell the difference.
Your cells dropping in and out. We're picking up like every third word, but we got what you understood what you're saying there, and yeah, but here's the thing. When did South Carolina? What is analysis deal? This isn't like it was an overnight thing. South Carolina and Nike, they first announced their agreement. How long ago was that? A year ago or so? 6 months ago? I don't know how long it takes to make these shirts and get the color right, but they had plenty of time, don't you think, to get the proper mixture and get a garnet solution done, at least for the opening batch that you send to South Carolina, to the fans. I mean, the players, are the players going to notice a difference? I don't know. It's the Debbies of the world. It's the people who've given their life to South Carolina. They know the difference in garnet and red. Red belongs to Georgia. Maroon belongs to Mississippi State. Alabama's got its own, according to what we were told here, Alabama's got its own basket. Like, schools are put into these different baskets, and Alabama's like the leader, got its own basket that you fall into that category. The Alabama crimson, I guess crimson is their color. Their version of the reddish color is crimson. And garnet is if you got, you won't let yourself be identified as USC. You chickened out there, no pun intended. At least let your garnet be your identifying mark and color. And don't sway away from that. Maybe it'll take a little bit of time to get it right. Should have been right from the get, if you ask me. All right, thank you for the phone call. Let's run to the break. We'll come back with more phone calls on this Manic Monday edition of Sports Talk. Let's see what we got here. This is from the 803. This actually came in on Friday. If you're saying the color difference doesn't matter to the AD, that just goes to show you he's not a true South Carolina Gamecock. Well, he said that. We didn't say it. He implied it. And we'll be back.
Hi, I'm Jim Corbett. I've been an attorney for more than 30 years. There's one thing I've learned about injury cases. It's you need the personal touch. You need the lawyer to get to know you and describe your damages. You don't want a case manager talking to an insurance company and then talking to you and then talking to maybe to a lawyer with limited experience at the last minute to try to settle a case. I talk to you. I find out what your case is about. Jim at JimCorbettAttorney.com. Jim at JimCorbettAttorney.com for your injury cases.
If you want to reach sports fans, there's no better place than the Sports Talk Media Network. We give your business exposure on over 20 radio affiliates across South Carolina, plus online at SportsTalkSC.com and on our growing social media platforms. That means radio, digital, and social, all working together for your brand. Our audience is loyal, engaged, and they trust what they hear from us. We partner with local businesses, regional brands, and anyone who wants to connect with real sports fans. From live reads and sponsorships to digital advertising, we'll build a custom campaign to fit your goals and budget. Ready to advertise with Sports Talk Media Network? Visit sportstalksc.com/sales-contact. That's sportstalksc.com/sales-contact. Sports Talk Media Network. Advertising that reaches sports fans.
Looking for a new car? You need to think about a Kia.
If you're in the market for an SUV, consider the new Kia Telluride or the new Kia Sorento. They're big, they're strong, and loaded with tech for thousands less than Honda or Toyota. You'll see the difference right away, and you get double the warranty. Plus, you get the JT's Advantage million-mile warranty and about 1,000 other things you have to see to believe.
If you want the biggest bang for your buck, it's time to think about a new JT's Kia.
We're serious about saving you money.
All right, let's continue with those phone calls. 888-898-2525. It's a Manic Monday here on Sports Talk. And we'll go next to Roberts. Where's Robert? Robert's in Columbia. Okay, Robert here in Columbia. Good to have you with us on Sports Talk. How are you?
Thank you. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm going to resolve this question for you easily. We probably need the plumber's help, so he's a little younger.
Yes.
Just contact the sports department. Ask them to look at the color chart, the Pantone color chart, and ask them what number do they have officially registered for the color garnet.
Yeah.
202C.
Okay, and the other number would be 733-635, which is the pinwheel number for it. That's the color for garnet. If Nike produces those colors, which they probably should be able to do, you don't have an argument. So everybody here is looking at taking an eye candy test at this thing, and just go to the color wheel chart. They are college educated, most of them, I think.
Yeah, except those making the shoes. You're exactly right. We looked that up last week, and you know a thing or two about colors. Are you an artist?
No, but I'm good with computers.
Okay. Well, you're right. It's right out there to be viewed. It's not hidden information.
Yeah, it should be on the college's website when they trademarked everything. That's the color that anybody that produces anything. That color chart is there to tell them what color they have to use.
Have you seen the new stuff?
No.
You still with us? Going once, twice? Sounds like we. While we're talking about this, from people who've actually gone out and bought the product. I read a story, the state did a story on Gamecock fans who went out to buy the product, quoted one person who said they'd spent over $500 on merchandise.
Our internet just blipped. So
Ew.
It's back up now, I think.
We still have, Robert?
All of our callers dropped off.
Well, sorry about that. Well, the weather is kind of dicey out there. We will continue to take calls. I'm not sure if we're going to hook up with Steven Garcia at the top of the hour break or not. We're going to try. If not, try him another night. That'll give us time to continue with your phone calls after the top of the hour break if you want to try to rejoin us. The phones are now working. 888-898-2525, South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number if you want to get through to us. Let's see. This is from the 803. Condolences to the family of Carl Gooding of the Big Dog Radio Allendale on Carl's passing. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm sure that part of the state very respectful of Mr. Gooding and taking the news hard today. Who you got?
Got Andy in Columbia.
All right, Andy in Columbia. Got about 3 minutes. What you got?
Corn, you know who I blame this on? The people who own the stores.
As soon as they unpacked it and saw it wasn't garnet, they should have sent it back and said, this isn't acceptable. Yet it's the right thing.
They probably figured they're going to sell it anyway.
I mean, but it's not the right thing.
I
so
agree.
why are you selling the wrong thing? If you're the garnet and black tradition store and you're not selling garnet, then, I'm blind as a bat. You got to be worse than me.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to stand up for the merchandise you're selling, okay? And you got to be willing to tell the supplier that the merchandise isn't right. And if it means that it's going to be another month or another 2 weeks or 6 weeks until you get the right merchandise in, then that's what it's going to be. Grow a set, send it back to Nike, tell them to get it right, and then send the stuff to you.
Yeah.
Period. I guarantee you, if they would have done that, the right stuff probably would have already been out on the shelves.
Yeah.
Period. Because they're looking to make money, and Nike wants our money. So you send back the merchandise that they're going to make the money on, they're going to get you the merchandise back correct. Period. And what I want to know is, you're sitting here talking about it, garnet this, garnet that. Well, we don't even know what the real jerseys are going to look like when they come on the field. It could be the real garnet. They could just have some knucklehead who did the wrong thing on the things they're selling in the stores that have gone out. So, like I said, to me, it's the proprietors that run these stores and own these stores should have grew a set, not accepted it, because they got it way before July 1st.
Mm-hmm.
They had this stuff.
Yeah.
So they saw it, and they should have reacted to it. And that's just my feeling.
I'm looking at Plummer brought up one of the websites selling the jersey. That's the university's website.
Yeah, it's the bookstore.
And it says Youth Nike.
It's just I picked up a picture of a jersey.
But they promote it as garnet.
Yeah, they promoted it as garnet.
Yeah. Is that garnet?
No. If I have two pictures pulled up for people that can't see, obviously.
Yeah.
Left side is a picture of USC's garnet, their official garnet color, and the jersey is Nike. Looks very different from what I can tell.
Yeah.
But if the fans are going to buy it, the fans buy it.
Yeah. Okay. It's not that hard, I don't think. Apparently it is. Thank you for the phone call. Top of the hour break. We'll be back.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. NATO's chief is demanding allies present credible plans to reach defense spending targets. Correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte has made clear allies must put forward clear, concrete and credible plans to reach the organization's spending targets at its annual summit in Ankara, Turkey, starting Tuesday. He says European allies and Canada are expected to invest $258 billion more in defense in 2025 and this year. The meeting comes at a crucial time for the alliance, with the US scaling down its security role in Europe. Washington has been pressing allies to shoulder more of the spending burden. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
President Trump says he's building a granite helipad on the White House lawn, insisting that the landing area is needed to accommodate new, more powerful presidential choppers. He says he's building the new helipad at the White House for his new, more powerful helicopters to replace Marine One.
For 50 years, we've been landing helicopters on grass. The grass is wet, soggy, and our other Marine Ones are about 40 years old. They're old, like Air Force One. It's time to make a change.
Venezuelans are digging through earthquake rubble with their bare hands to recover loved ones as international rescue teams depart, and anger rises over the government's response. The death toll has risen to 3,535. A reminder that SRN News and our parent company Salem Media are partnering with the Christian nonprofit Food for the Poor to rush emergency aid to victims of this tragedy. Listeners wanting to help can find an online banner at the top of our website, srnnews.com. More on these stories available at townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2341. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2341. That's 800-575-2341. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
AI gives the markets a boost.
Stocks closed higher on Wall Street with some help from a rebound in AI-related stocks. The S&P 500 rose 0.7% Monday. Gains for several big AI stocks, including chipmaker Broadcom, outweighed losses in other parts of the market. The S&P is back within 1% of the all-time high it set in early June. The Nasdaq Composite climbed 1.1%. The Dow added 155 points, or 0.3%, to its latest. Treasury yields fell a bit in the bond market. The yield on the 10-year Treasury slipped to 4.47%. Seth Sutel, New York.
The premiers of Alberta and Ontario have proposed a pipeline to carry Western Canadian oil to the country's east as Canada seeks new markets. It will carry some 500,000 barrels a day. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
On 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Warm this evening, a low dipping down to 76. Tomorrow, much like today, a blend of sunshine and clouds, a high of 94, and that same 30% chance we get showers in the afternoon. Similar for the rest of the week, highs in the mid-90s, lows in the mid-70s, and a slight 20 to 30% chance for rain each afternoon. I'm Cal Moss with your on-point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com. The Point.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number, 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
All right, we're back. Sports Talk Media Network. On a Monday night. It's a manic Monday. Glad to have you with us. Phil Kornblut and the plumber. Josh Cohen at your service from our studios, The Point Radio in Columbia. Phone number 888-898-2525. South Carolina Education Lottery. Lucky number to reach us here on Sports Talk. Hey, I just made it back from the beach. A glorious couple of weeks. Beautiful coast of South Carolina. Let me encourage you, if you haven't If you don't have a place to go, let Jimmy Smith find you a great place to stay, all right? Very simple, 843-237-4246, pauliesvacationrentals.com. That's the phone number and the web address for James Smith Real Estate. Pawleys Island, Litchfield, all those great places down there. One call, one click, you get yourself set up. 843-237-4246, pauliesvacationrentals.com. Great people, and they'll put you in a great spot. Back to your phone calls in just a sec. Let me hit on a couple of other interesting stories of the day I want to touch on. This is recruiting, but I'm not including it in recruiting only because of the silliness of it. A girls basketball player, Kalina Smith, says here she's the number 1 overall prospect in the class of 2027. She has scheduled, according to Dushan London, who covers women's recruiting for 24/7 Sports, she has scheduled 11 official visits. 11 official. Who needs 11 official visits? She's starting July 31st, and she's ending on November 13th. Washington, Baylor, Oklahoma, Georgia, Tennessee, Arizona State, Miami, Southern Cal, UCLA, UConn, Texas A&M. That's got to be a record. I've never heard of anybody taking 11 official visits. Again, one of the downfalls of the NCAA, you used to have a limit. It used to be 5. What's wrong with 5? Why can't you get it done in 5 visits? You don't need to visit 11 schools, for crying out loud. Unbelievable. Let's see what else here. Oh, Wofford basketball is going to host Virginia Tech October 16th at the Jerry Richardson. I want to give it a nickname, the Jerry Richardson Indoor Stadium, in an exhibition game, part of homecoming weekend, and the return of Mike Young to Wofford. So that'll be fun. October 16th. The Citadel announced today the introduction of the Blue Zone, presented by Bud Light. Premium field-level seating experience, South End Zone, Johnson Haygood. 8 on-field suites available for this season, each featuring 16 tickets, 4 parking passes, and an all-inclusive buffet and cash bar. I know the Big Kahuna will be at South Carolina games, but he gets a chance. He'll get over there to the Citadel for this. So it's the Blue Zone at the Citadel.
Did you see while they were doing some construction at Johnson Haygood Stadium, they found some old grave sites?
Well, I mean, that was like 10 years ago.
No, like recently.
Oh, they found more?
Yeah. Here,
Oh, okay.
let me pull it up.
I mean, I knew they did that a few years ago. They ran across some old grave sites, but that's why they stopped working over there, I thought, on the far side of the stadium.
50 unmarked graves unearthed during construction at Citadel Football Stadium.
When was that written?
June 24th.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Okay. The Braves have called up Owen Murphy, the number 6 prospect in their farm system, right-hander, gets called up to the big leagues. And let's see here. Newly acquired USC shortstop J.D. Stein, formerly of Wake Forest, made the roster for USC Baseball Collegiate National Team. And let's see here. The son of Clemson guard Tony Stockman, Maddox Stockman, who plays at Ben Lippen, will be playing in St. Louis for the P32 New Balance Live Period. Don't know what any of that means. Sounds like some kind of a showcase deal, but he must be a pretty good player. His dad was a heck of a player, Tony Stockman. And, we'd hoped to get Steven Garcia on. We have not connected. Maybe we'll get him on tomorrow night. He did tell me he was out fishing a little while ago. Might be on a big boat somewhere. Dabo Sweeney went by to see him recently, and Garcia posted a picture. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to have him on. Wanted to find out what that conversation was all about. But in his picture, he does look good. He's smiling. Talking about Garcia, not Sweeney. Sweeney never looks good. He's just not a good-looking guy. Garcia, I say that kidding, of course. But Garcia looks thinner, obviously going through cancer treatments. But he's smiling and still fighting it. So hopefully we'll get him on tomorrow night, since we weren't able to connect tonight. Let's see. Let's go to Delvin and Fountain Inn. Got recruiting coming up for you. Zach Willis as well. Delvin, welcome into Sports Talk. How are you?
Thanks for having me, Phil. What do Clemson do now with the president situation since he's staying in Michigan State? Do they go with somebody who's an alumni at the school, or do they promote Bob Jones from within?
I got the perfect answer. It's time. Danny Ford for president of Clemson.
Yeah, cause I think that's the only person who can be in the high office. I don't know anybody else out there at other schools or president or alum. And I'm gonna get your take on this. Phil, you're a Boston Celtics fan. How you feel about the trade, and what do you think about the press conference today?
Hate it. I didn't hear the press conference today. Doggone it. I'll go back and look at it. Was it Brad Stevens who had it, or was it Jaylen Brown?
It was Brad Stevens and the owner.
Yeah, I got to go listen to that. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it at all. I mean, what's to like? What is to like? You know, you got some draft picks in 28. But this team is built to win now. I mean, it's about winning a championship now, and you're just breaking up one of the great combinations in the NBA. And a guy who's going to have his jersey in the rafters one day, he shouldn't be shipped off like that. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know, the personalities. Was he grating on their nerves or vice versa? I don't know. It's all about production on the floor.
Because Jaylen Brown himself said there's got to be more to this, because he said he didn't have no problem because he wanted to stay. He didn't ask for no trade. So he even himself on his screen said that there was something more to this than just basketball reasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think some things he said after the season might have rubbed some people the wrong way, but that shouldn't matter. You don't trade a guy that had his best season ever and stepped up for you and helped lead a team to 56 wins when people thought they'd finish last in the East. And, I mean, yeah, they flopped in the playoffs for some reason, blowing a 3-1 lead. Well, I mean, I think part of it was your offensive strategy, but that's just a bad deal. It's just a bad deal. Now, Paul George, when healthy, if you can get Paul George healthy, he's a veteran and he still has game, and he can do a lot of good things for you from a veteran standpoint. Got Mike Conley coming in, be a good backup guard. But the Celtics have gone from being one of the youngest teams in the league to one of the oldest now. When you throw in what is George, 36, and Conley's going into his 20th year, so he's got to be 39, 40, somewhere in there.
Yeah, then they added Mitchell Robinson, too. From
and Mitchell Robinson, yeah. Now, I like that deal. I mean, that guy's an enforcer inside. And the Sixers proved that the Celtics needed an enforcer inside, somebody who could stop another big man. So they got that guy. Just don't put him on the foul line.
Yeah, but I agree with you about Danny Ford. Maybe they could just get him to be the president. But the person needs to stick with one of their own to be the president if there's anybody out there who can be
Let's start that campaign. Danny Ford for president at Clemson. It's payback time. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's payback time. Let's go to phone number 888-898-2525. Brian in Rock Hill. You're up next here on Sports Talk. Good to have you with us.
Glad to be here. I want to talk about that color argument everybody's got going on.
Okay.
Robert, a little earlier, talked about the Pantone chart. He's right on spot with it. I worked in screen printing for years, and we used to print Adidas contract work. They wanted these exact colors. We used the Pantone chart. And when you remember back in the Lou Holtz years, when Carolina switched, they were with Russell, they went to Under Armour. They had a Mississippi State color of maroon for the first 2 years or something like that with Under Armour. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. Mm-hmm. But when you go to selling T-shirts at Dick's Sporting Goods or even Todd Moore around the corner from the university, you have to be somewhat close to the color, but it's not like being on the field and you need that exact color. Carolina doesn't want to go out there looking like Alabama with a red or scarlet color. They want the garnet. So, players' jerseys, if you get to the different colors, how's that going to match up with their helmet color, with the burgundy in their helmet or whatever? So you got a lot of stuff going on there. And I have a Nike pullover I bought at Dick's Sporting Goods or somewhere, and it's a Nike pullover with the Under Armour contract, and it's pretty close to the garnet. But I think the university, AD, whoever should have got with Nike and got that Pantone chart out and got it correct from the get-go. Even when you buy T-shirts from Fanatic Sports or Champion or the Coliseum brand in these stores or online, I mean, it's always going to be a different shade depending on the material. Like the Nike pullover I was speaking about, it's like a windbreaker, rain-resistant type material. It's going to be a different shade, but they need to get it right. I mean, the Nike and the university both dropped the ball on this one.
So from what you've obviously got an eye for this stuff. From what you've seen,
yes,
I guess, have you seen it in person or just online?
No, I haven't seen in person, but I would feel sure that Nike would use somewhat close to what they use in the Nike pullover I have. But like I said, it's the type of material. It's a windbreaker kind of slick material. So that color is going to be a little different than a 50-50 cotton polyester or 100% cotton blend. You're always going to have different shades, but when the players get on the field, it's got to be right on the money. Don't you agree?
I agree. I mean,
do you remember the Stephen Barry's company from years ago had these discount T-shirts for universities in these little stores?
I do not. Do not.
They had one up here in Rock Hill, and their color of red for South Carolina, or it was red, almost like a Ohio State red, nowhere near the Carolina burgundy or garnet, if you want to call it. But Nike being as big as they are, like the gentleman said about Tennessee, I know they were Adidas back in the day, went to Nike and back to Adidas. But it feels like they used a Pantone chart and got it right the first time.
And you feel like they didn't do that here?
I mean, it'd be worth asking some questions to the AD and the university.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to me like they didn't do it. I mean, but Nike, $1 trillion company, whatever they are, got the name recognition and Michael Jordan, all of them. I mean, they didn't go through this with the Tar Heels when the Tar Heels went from Converse to Nike, did they?
Guarantee.
So, I mean, AD needs to get it right, the athletic department and Nike both.
Thank you very much. Yep, I mean, some places.
Thank you, sir.
Some places, I guess, stick up for what's theirs, and they make sure that it's right. I do remember a little bit of belly aching coming out of Chapel Hill with some of the stuff that was done with their uniforms. Like, what's that thing called that goes down the side of their uniforms? They have this fancy name for it. But I can recall a little bit of, I don't know if it was the shade of blue or whatever, but, I mean, look, you got your color. That's your identity. I mean, Kentucky Wildcats, that blue, I'm sure whoever does their uniforms gets it right. Tar Heels, NC State red, I'm sure they get that right. UCLA Bruin blue, whatever shade of blue that happens to be, I'm sure they get that right. Clemson orange, Nike's had them for a long time. I don't recall when Nike took over Clemson and started producing their uniforms, if they missed that orange, if they missed it or got it on target, maybe a Clemson fan can refresh our memory as to what it was like when that transition took place. But, I mean, you just got to get it right. Yeah, I understand different fabrics will look different ways, but garnet's garnet. Maize and blue's maize and blue. You can't mess that stuff up, I don't think. And wait 2 years to transition till you get it right? Why? Why do you have to wait 2 years? I mean, you signed months ago. You knew this was coming on July 1st was going to be the launch. I think Andy was right, too. Why are the stores selling stuff that's not the right color other than make the money and knowing that the fans are going to gobble it up because it's got the swoosh on it? See, I don't bend the knee at the foot of Nike. In fact, I prefer not to buy Nike stuff just for principle, you know. They became too involved in, the shoe business became too involved in recruiting and paying players and steering players and all that kind of stuff. I was a Converse guy. I love Converse, as a kid who didn't. And if you must know, I'm wearing New Balance. I like New Balance. New Balance makes a good product. I like New Balance. Nice, comfortable shoe, Does it help my jumping ability? Not at all. Not at all. Does it make me faster? Not at all. We go to to the break. Let's run to the break. We'll come back with recruiting. How about that? Run to the break. We'll give you the recruiting report after the break. And brother Zach Willis coming up at the bottom of the hour to talk little X's and O's on the football side. We'll talk South Carolina Clemson defense and maybe a little bit more football around the state of South Carolina as we look ahead to the beginning of camp in less than a month here in South Carolina. We'll be back in a moment. We're with Major Billy Downer of the Department of Natural Resources. Major Downer, let's say I'm out in the woods or I'm on the water and I need to reach a DNR agent. How do I do that?
Operation Game Thief, Phil. It's been around 30-plus years. You can call us at our 24-hour hotline any time of day, 1-800-922-5431. To report wildlife violations or to get help if you're in trouble in the woods or on the water, call us at Operation Game Thief, 1-800-922-5431.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
Looking for thrills? Then welcome to the South Carolina Education Lottery, where excitement's the name of the game, and every chance at a win...
Just one more. Come on, so close.
...comes with the chance of a whiff.
Ugh. Well, no biggie.
Nicely done. You handled it like a pro. Because when the stakes start getting too real and you find yourself playing for more than fun, it might be time to take a break.
Good point.
Playing for fun makes you a better player, and a better player is a better you. Learn more at SCEducationLottery.com.
The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
Okay, let's talk about recruiting tonight, brought to you by Seawells. You got that special event coming up, be it a wedding reception, birthday party, corporate outing, awards banquet, business luncheon, whatever. Call those catering experts at Seawells. They've been doing it now about 80 years, moving into a new facility inside the state fairgrounds as well. Bigger and better than ever as far as what Seawells can bring to you. They can handle all your planning and your catering needs. So visit their website, SeawellsCateringSC.com, to read all about it, or give them a call for first-hand information. 803-771-7385. 803-771-7385, the number for Seawells. So, over the weekend, Saturday, July 4th, defensive end Jaden Brody of Rolesville, North Carolina, he committed to South Carolina, 6'3", 235. Gamecocks had not done much with him until Deion Barnes, the defensive ends coach, brought him into camp for a workout last month. And Barnes liked what he saw in action from Brody, and he offered after that camp visit, and from there the relationship continued to build. And he said the communication was constant. He said the coaches love him. They made him feel like a priority. And the relationships he built down there, it just made him feel like home, he said. 17th commitment for the class. The first for Barnes as a defensive end, the first for him in his first recruiting campaign with the Gamecocks. He likes that he's an edge recruit, and he made him a priority because he was, trying to get that first one since coming over from Penn State. So he's watched the Gamecocks put this class together, and he says they have some really good players. The two safeties who just committed are really good, so he said this crew is going to be good and going to help build the program into real contenders. He's not taken any official visits to this point, and he plans to only take one to USC. Virginia Tech was also a strong contender. He also had offers from Georgia, Wake Forest, NC State, Tennessee, East Carolina, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, Missouri, and Auburn. Last season, Brody had 98 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, and 6 sacks. South Carolina, of course, dominated the recruiting headlines last week with their 4 commitments. Clemson's last commitment came on June 27th, Jaden Aparicio-Bailey. The Tigers, however, expected to be back in the limelight this Saturday. Defensive tackle Seth Tillman of South Point makes his commitment announcement. Feelings have been strong in-state and nationally for a few weeks that Tillman will pick the Tigers over USC, Georgia, and Michigan. Those were his 4 officials. The Gamecocks got the first OV in early May, and they were setting the pace after that. Clemson got the final OV in mid-June, and that seemed to turn his head to the Tigers. Plus, he's been going to Clemson's camps for a long, long time. He also had offers from Kentucky, LSU, North Carolina, Texas A&M, Florida, Tennessee, Nebraska, Florida State, Georgia Tech, NC State, others. Last season, 61 tackles, 27 for loss, 8.5 sacks. He would become the 25th commitment for Clemson, which is still hoping to add safety Seth Williams back to the class. He plans to announce later this month between the Tigers and Georgia. And South Carolina has several more spots to fill in its high school class. The Gamecocks are known to still be recruiting at this point. Defensive end Josiah Sturdivant of Wake Forest, North Carolina, currently committed to Rutgers. Running back Franklin Richardson of Sumter, who made officials to Duke, East Carolina, and Maryland last month. And Burns corner Aiden Wiggins, who is committed to Auburn. Of course, there's more names that will be added to the board as the summer rolls into the season. And, of course, they'll continue to recruit other targets committed elsewhere. Baseball, the player considered to be the top prospect in the baseball free agent portal, third baseman, shortstop, right-hander Connor Schaus of Texas Tech announced his commitment to South Carolina. Over the weekend, he's out of Jasper, Georgia, regarded as one of the top two-way players in college baseball, a shortstop and pitcher in high school. He also played third base and the outfield in college. He began his career at Georgia Tech. He played in 25 games in 25. This season exploded on the scene in Lubbock, earning first-team All-Big 12 honors. Schaus is the 24th portal free agent acquired by the Gamecocks since Kevin Schnall was named head coach, the 29th newcomer overall. He hit .353 with 10 homers this past season. So, big bat, not necessarily huge power bat, though 10 homers is not bad, but a high average bat there for Kevin Schnall and the Gamecocks. I tell you, if every one of those players comes in and has a career year, the Gamecocks will win the national championship. If every one of them has a career year. The problem with baseball is seldom does everybody have a career year at the same time. If you can get a third of them to have career years and the rest just to have decent years, you'll have a chance to have a great team. But on paper, looking at some of the guys they have brought in high school, the few in high school, and the free agent portal, it is a huge step up overall for this roster for Gamecock baseball. Be right back.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
On 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Warm this evening, a low dipping down to 76. Tomorrow, much like today, a blend of sunshine and clouds, a high of 94, and that same 30% chance we get showers in the afternoon. Similar for the rest of the week, highs in the mid-90s, lows in the mid-70s, and a slight 20 to 30% chance for rain each afternoon. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
If you've never had genuine Wagyu or Hereford steaks and burgers, you don't know what you're missing. Time to order the best of the best from HandJCattle.com. These are local farmers in Saluda where tradition meets quality. The best quality beef and a discount for Point listeners. Enter keyword The Point as one word and get 10% off, plus free delivery in Lexington and Richland County orders of $50 or more. It's cooked in season over at HandJCattle.com.
The Point. The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A former campus police officer says he found an apparent sniper pad on a gravel rooftop near where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Monday's courtroom testimony by the former officer comes as prosecutors seek to show they have enough evidence to put defendant Tyler Robinson on trial for murder. After a story was published in Politico in which a woman declared that Democratic senatorial candidate from Maine, Graham Plattner, forced himself upon her, Plattner denied the charge on X. However, Plattner says, quote, regardless of the inaccuracy of the reporting, but mindful of the political reality it will inflict, we are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward. Plattner is running as a Democrat against incumbent Susan Collins in May. More details at srnnews.com.
Nobody plans for a plumbing problem. They come unannounced and usually at a very inconvenient time. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is your trusted ally. They recognize just how vulnerable a customer is at this time, and they want to help. They have well-trained plumbers who are there to make a difference when you need it most. I've experienced this. They're knowledgeable about their craft. They're not coming to your house to pitch new products. If something is broken, they'll give you a price to fix it if it's possible, or a price to replace it if necessary. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is also locally owned and operated, or I simply wouldn't endorse them. Josh and his team prioritize customer service above everything else. They handle every issue with care and precision. Those are not just words. I've had Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning out to my home. They back up those words with their actions. If you have a crisis, get some peace of mind. Online, you find them at franklinplumbing.sc.com, or you call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. I'm absolutely positive they will make whatever is wrong right again. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning.
Hey everybody, I'm David Jolly with South Carolina Insurance Brokers. I'm from Lexington. I live here, work here, play here. Ever feel like just a policy number with those big national insurance companies? It's time for a change. As your independent agent, I don't work for one big insurer. I work for you. I shop top carriers to find you the better coverage at a better price. Don't wait for a claim to see if your agent cares. Call me, David Jolly, at 803-380-8877 or visit scinsbrokers.com. When you think of insurance, I ask that you think of me, David Jolly.
At Palmetto State Armory, we offer the largest selection of guns and ammunition at unbeatable prices. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to provide personalized assistance, ensuring you find exactly what you need. If you enjoy outdoor activities like hunting, camping, or hiking, our clothing and outdoor gear collection has got you covered. We also feature an exceptional indoor range facility where you can experience the thrill of shooting in a safe and controlled environment. Visit us today at PalmettoStateArmory.com or your local retail store. Palmetto State Armory, American made for life.
Discover the seamless blend of comfort and style with Lexington Discount Homes. With over 30 years of excellence in the housing industry, our focus is on delivering your dream home with unparalleled customer service. Explore a variety of designs tailored to meet any preference and budget. Drop by our showroom at 1847 Augusta Highway to witness the craftsmanship of a Lexington home firsthand, or explore online through a comprehensive virtual tour at LexingtonDiscountHomes.com. Choose comfort, choose style, choose Lexington Discount Homes.
Hey y'all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks y'all and God bless.
Now, First and 10 with Zach Willis on the Sports Talk Media Network.
All right, time to talk some hardcore football here on Sports Talk. First and 10 with Coach Zach Willis. Just kind of priming the pump for the football season. Talked a little offense last week, talk some defense. Talk some defense tonight. Coach, welcome in. I hope you had a great 4th of July.
Well, we're going to see if we can't beat Belgium in soccer, and that'll make it a little bit better, I guess, but I did have a good one.
You like soccer?
I had some buddies that played at Furman. We had some really good teams. They beat South Carolina and Clemson back-to-back games one year, and they were my buddies, and I got into it then. I'm not an aficionado by any means at all, but I do like to watch it.
Yeah, Furman put out a guy's pretty good named Clint Dempsey. I think he could play a little bit.
He wasn't bad. I'm watching him right now.
Yeah. I mean, Furman, between Clint Dempsey and Brad Faxon, I mean, you got a guy who's international expert on soccer.
Daniel.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about the media. Brad Faxon is all over television. NBC? I think he's with NBC on the golf coverage, and Clint Dempsey with Fox on the
And Dottie Mockery, I think she's still doing it. She's a Furman girl, too. She was on the women's.
Dottie Pepper.
Dottie Pepper.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
That's 3. You're right. Excellent point. Yeah, I loved Dottie Pepper as a what's her married name now? Dottie Pepper.
Dottie Pepper Mockery.
Yeah.
MOC. She may be back to Dottie Pepper, but she's a sweetheart. She's a good girl.
Yeah. I really enjoy her commentary on the course. She's really, really good. So you've had a week to sleep on defense on South Carolina Clemson. Let's start with Clemson this time. We talked about the offenses last week. Let's talk about the defense. Are people going to be sleeping on this Clemson defense considering the people they lost off of last year's team? I mean, they lost some pros off of last year's defense.
They lost some great players, and then they lost the safety to Georgia, I believe it is. And, I mean, I'll say this. I'd never bet against that coaching staff as far as overall ability to play and things like that. But I am concerned. I think at this point, maybe it's a coach in me, but I think any fan that's well seasoned is just not a, if you want to set yourself up for failure as a fan, always go in there thinking you're going to win everything. Always support, always hold out hope, but I can promise you Coach Sweeney and that defensive staff, as good as they are, have some concerns about some of the people they lost. But you face that every year. And the key to it now is they are going in the portal. We've seen that Clemson is very good at evaluating talent and getting people in that can help them. And I'm interested to see, because it's basically year 2 for Dabo dipping into the portal, a little bit more aggressively, if they continue to have success with the people they pick out of there. Honestly, the only area I've been really concerned about lately was the O-line for a couple years, and quarterback position just not being as consistent as it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, they've always been stout, and I believe there's no reason to think they won't be at least above average, if not great again.
Well, of course, one of the big complaints about last year's team was the secondary, the play of the secondary.
Yep.
The players did not play well. The coaches did not coach well. They took steps to fix that. They changed up the coaching in the safeties area. They brought in more assistants. Let Mike Reed focus on the corners, and Thomas Allen handling the safeties along with others. Kariko Wright is back there, and others who played at Clemson. So you got some experienced people back there from that standpoint. But as it stands right now, of course, things can change, but you're looking at 3 new starters in the secondary, talking about just the 4, not counting the nickel. So you got Ashton Hampton, who's a proven corner and a very good one. And then Elliott Washington, who transferred from Penn State, who was a good player there. Corey Myrick at free safety, and Jerome Carter at strong safety, or vice versa. Sometimes they move them around, but I got Myrick and Carter. Those look like the ones right now who will form their starting group back there in the secondary. And they're new guys, so I guess we'll have to wait and see if that's an improved group. I mean, they lose Terrell, obviously, an NFL guy, first-round guy.
Yeah.
So that'll hurt them there at one corner until somebody steps up. And the safeties were terrible last year, and you mentioned one of them is transferred to. Not saying they're terrible players, but they played poorly a lot of times. They played poorly. Yeah.
Will Barnes, he struggled, and it looked to me like last year and I know coaches have to make players play, and I hate to see Nicky Khan leave for a whole bunch of reasons. Most of them personal. But, the eyes weren't keying the right things. Dabo was one of them. He and Spurrier, to me, 2 of the most transparent coaches with the media. But he said, hey, our receivers and our safeties, man, I don't know what they're doing. There were a couple of games where they were winning, but they were just turning people loose in the secondary. And it looked to me like eye discipline. We talk about it on the offensive line all the time, but based on whether you're in zone or man coverage, and this is getting into the deep end, but these fans we've got, these listeners are astute fans. They understand this. But you have zone eyes, which means you're putting your eyes on the quarterback and maybe reading through 1 or 2 receivers depending on who you're looking at. A little bit more complex. And then you got what we call man eyes, where you literally are locked on one man, and your eyes should be on him the whole time. That's why sometimes the fade and the fade stop on deep routes are good routes, because the the DB, most of the time it's a corner, but it can be a nickel or a safety. They're running stride for stride, but they're having to play through what the receiver's seeing and play his hands to the ball because they've got eyes on that man. And I think they were not. It was simple. They just were not doing that at the safety position for whatever reason, and they were turning people loose. And they were running free down the field, and we saw it all year long, and that's what brought about the changes, unfortunately, at the end. But, Phil, having new players, and you're right, they've got some experience and some really good talent. Kid from Penn State is a solid player. Hopefully those guys, they can build around those guys. And playing in the ACC again now, we'll find out a lot against LSU starting out because Brian Kelly's going to throw well, he's not there. I can't keep up with them all.
Lane train.
Yeah, well, he'll throw even more.
Yeah,
and try to steal Dabo's playbook in the process if he can. I mean, whatever he can do, that's just Lane. And Lane's kind of like Ric Flair used to be to wrestling. I've come to believe this. You got to have a bad guy for everybody to pull against to create great drama. And I get Lane Kiffin is the Ric Flair of this era.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy that everybody's going to tune in to see, just if they tune in for him to lose or to win.
He's the guy that the non-LSU fans, the rest are going to love to hate, and he's going to speak his mind, and he's going to be controversial. He's going to try and bury you. He's going to try and bury Clemson. He's going to try and set the tone, and if he can get Clemson down in that game,
he'll stomp a mud hole in them if he can.
He will. There'll be no love lost there, and he'll be very cool and calm and try to be professional about it, but he'll put the boot on the throat for sure if he gets the chance. So what about up front for the Tigers? They lose Woods, they lose Parker, a couple of significant guys there. So they're looking at Helt to continue to have a big year at one defensive end, Lawson to continue his improvement, bigger and stronger, more experience at the other. But then in the middle, you're talking about now maybe a Champ Thompson. You're talking about maybe a free agent like Marcus Strong. Maybe it's Amari Adams who steps up or Vic Burley. I mean, it's kind of a wide open deal there in the middle with those defensive tackles, I think.
It is, but when you got last I checked, Sammy Brown was still there, standing behind him. And that kid is the real deal. Now, he is a old school, and I mean that in a good way. He is a playmaking son. You already know that. He is him and Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, out of everybody that has come through Clemson, that were highly heralded out of high school. Those are the three, honestly, in college football in general, that I've seen that lived up to their hype. And this kid is more than doing that. So what that does, and this is what I'm trying to get at, is Tom Allen, who is a very good X and O guy, and I think we'll see better defense. I think, too, the kids have been in that system a while now. That's going to help them a bunch. But Sammy, those two, the two defensive tackles, nose guard, and what we would call a three technique, the guy that kicks out over the offensive guard, if they're just keeping blockers off of him in the interior, he's going to make a ton of plays for you. And and this is what sets him apart, is he also is great against the pass. He makes plays. He's got a tremendous range. He's not just tackle to tackle. He's like a Jack Lambert. He can make plays way down the field. He can run with interior receivers. He can do a lot of things for you. And it makes the defensive tackles' jobs a whole lot easier than they would be. In the past, Clemson's had some great linebackers, but nobody like this guy as far as range goes and ability to make tackles in open space. I hope I'm not jinxing him by saying it, but that's all he means is he plays too, and he plays hard every down. He's just really a guy that hopefully they can anchor that entire front around, and they do have the talent, and they've got guys like you mentioned that should be improved, that are excellent players, and that's shown some really good the ability to dominate a ball game. It's what they're going to need. Honestly, every year you need a great D-line to go a long way.
You think at linebacker Brown and Jeremiah Alexander gives Clemson two of the best in the ACC when they're out there together?
I think when they're out there together, if Alexander can continue to develop because of the ability he has, Sammy, if he continues and adds Absolutely. I think two of the best in the country. And that's not, if you think about it with Clemson Field, well, he played for 4 or 5 national titles, 1, 2, been in the running for several others. This is they've turned that thing into, we're hard on them because we expect they've made it that way. And Clemson fans have always, since Coach Ford won his national title, they have expectations. But the truth of the matter is the standard down there is best, and to be the best. And when they're not, we're a little bit down on them. But these guys, I would not be shocked if this team doesn't surprise some people on defense just because they had such a struggle last year in certain ways. And on top of that, they lost some people that, that were big names, but like you said, didn't really play that well. They had the name, but they didn't prove it on the field.
All right, let's go to South Carolina, where one thing you can count on is at South Carolina in the Beamer era with Clayton White there is a pretty good defense. Sometimes really good, sometimes maybe not as good, but never bad. Their defense has always been like right there, pretty good. And I tell you, I look at some of these guys. I mean, you got Dylan Stewart. I think the key there, of course, is he healthy? Can he stay healthy? Is the situation that he's got that's bothered him, is it going to flare up? Are they going to have to rest him at certain times? Can he go full speed 100% of the time, or is he going to have to be like a pitcher? Is he going to have to be on a pitch count out there? These are things we don't know, but you know what he can do when healthy. Then the other side, you're talking about Julian Walker, the freshman out of Dutch Fork, quite possibly emerging as a guy there. And then in the middle, it's you got Gabriel Brownlow-Dendy returning, and I think based on what we're hearing and seeing, he looks better. He looks like he's ready to play up to the potential that was expected of him coming out of high school. And then you got some newcomers. You got Kelby Collins. You got Tomiwa Durajay. You got Noah Clark. It's kind of play and plug here, some new people, but you're just going to have to wait and see how they react when they get out there on an SEC football field.
Well, I'll tell you what I've seen out of Coach White's people, and I 1,000% agree with what you're saying. I don't think even the only guy can really put I guess even close to Coach White's deal is Joe Lee Dunn back when I was a kid. And he didn't have the consistency, certainly didn't play in the SEC, but they had some great years, but they had some years where they weren't so great. Brad Edwards graduated, Norman Floyd graduated. They had to replace those guys, and it wasn't as easy because those were great, great players.
Mm-hmm.
But, Clayton has been able to reload. And doing that at South Carolina with defense, that's saying something. Because and there may be some folks out there in Gamecock land that have been around forever, and you're one that has seen this thing. But I don't know of a defensive coordinator that's enjoyed the streak. And like you said, at the worst, they're above average. And he's had some years where they were. 2 years ago, I watched them over at Vanderbilt slam the door on Diego Pavia, and they just it was like a boa constrictor. They just kept tightening up till they just shut them down. And that was, one of the 2 great Vanderbilt teams we've seen, and they beat them in Vandy when Vandy had just beaten Alabama on their home field. So this is a unit that I would never bet against. It's a great time to be an analyst in the state of South Carolina because we got really good coaches at both places. As far as the head coaches go, their philosophies go, the emphasis on character, they still give everything they can to win. Is there to compete to be the best. I feel that's something that held them back for years. But we're seeing more and more of that come forward out of the administration from what I'm hearing and seeing, and this defense is no different. And I think they went out and got some really good people up the middle. And one of the things I heard Pat Dye say years and years ago is he said, the one thing that he always believed was that clean pants won championships. And I was like, what does clean pants mean? And what he's saying was in the fourth quarter when he was at Auburn, when they were really rolling, they trot out a couple of defensive linemen that haven't played but a few snaps all day long to start the fourth quarter and get after the quarterback, stuff up the running game, put a game away. And he says, even if they weren't quite as experienced or good as the starters, when they were fresh going against tired offensive lines, they were going to dominate the game. And as you remember, he was very successful in doing that. So, and then they'd hand it to Bo Jackson or Stephen Davis or you name it, Brent Fullwood. They had a stable, and he had a way of doing things. And I think Shane Beamer's trying to develop that kind of stable, not the same way exactly, but build depth up through the middle of your defense. And they've been doing that, and they found guys that honestly I'd never heard of that became stars for them.
Yeah. Well, another guy to watch for inside is Aiden Harris, the freshman, who they are very high on. Linebackers, I think Sean Murphy and Fred Johnson, and then you throw in Justin Okoronkwo, throw him in there. I think those are three really good linebackers, and they've got some depth there. And then in the secondary, you've got, Collier is very proven at a corner. Swain has played a lot of football. He's proven at a corner. And then now you got Jazavian Currents. You got to find a place to play him because he's very talented. I think they
I'm
will.
prejudiced against that kid.
Oh, why is that?
His daddy, Jay, played for me at Pikeville College.
Oh, really?
So don't ask me about him because I'm not talking bad about Jay's baby.
No, we don't.
Yeah, Jay was a wide receiver for me. Moose Wallace sent him up to me from Northwestern. I'm gonna brag on him a little bit here. He was a heck of a football player, but man, what a father!
Yeah,
and he's texted me. He's been bragging on this kid since he was a baby, and he was right. Most daddies brag, Phil, and it's not all that good. And he came, he's got an offer he got one from Tennessee, coach. I'm like, Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, let's give that boy's film. And I think he's going to be a fantastic player. I'm glad he stayed in state because that's all. I didn't have to give Jay. Jay is a great dad. I'm looking for big things out of that young man. I said, I'm just waiting for tickets when you go play in the NFL. I can get into Carolina when you're there. I just need some tickets to go watch you play in the show, which I hope he makes one day. But I know for sure he'll have a degree. And he'll be a fine young man because he's got a great family.
He's a great athlete at South Point, quarterback, defensive back. He'll find, he'll be in that rotation. I would think. Now the safeties,
kind of players are so valuable. Again, I go to Vince Dooley this time. But when they won that national title at Georgia, Terry Hogue's a great example. But they had 12 different guys playing on that Georgia team, playing a lot. That had played quarterback in high school besides Buck Blue. And he was convinced that their extra, it enhanced their football. College quarterback gave him a different view of everything. And I think and Gilmore, the great corner out of Rock Hill, out of South Point, same kind of thing, was best cornerback in the league for years in the NFL. He played quarterback, as we all know, and took him to a state title with Clowney. And all the rest of the studs Bobby Carroll had. So I'm looking for big things out of it.
All right, we only got about 30 seconds. I just wanted to say I'm a little bit concerned. Peyton Williams, David Boosie stand to be the starting safeties right now. Is there going to be a big drop-off there? And then Quashid Scott, the transfer from Kentucky out of Marion, I think is a proven commodity. He's going to play somewhere nickel, somewhere in that secondary. So I would just say we got about 30 seconds. I would just say that the safety positions – got to show us something going into this season.
Absolutely. But like you said, Coach White has shown us ways to try to make up for that. SEC so tough. Sometimes feel you can't hide them. And that is a big concern. I absolutely agree.
Keep an eye on Tristan Lewis. That's okay. I was going to say keep an eye on Tristan Lewis, the freshman, who was a quarterback at Greenwood, did some great things there as a quarterback, but he's at South Carolina as a 6'4" safety. You might see him rise up the ranks very quickly as well. We got to run. We're out of time. You have a great rest of July. Rest up. We'll get back with you in August, and we'll let her roll.
I'm looking forward to it, Phil. Y'all have a great, great week.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. That's the coach, Zach Willis, 1st and 10 here on Sports Talk as we break down that defense. We'll be back to wrap it up in a moment.
This is Major Billy Downer with the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Boating season is here, and as you get ready to go out on the water this spring and summer, make sure you have all the required safety equipment on board. Check for a sound device. A horn or whistle will suffice for most boats. Inspect all of your life jackets. Make sure they're in good condition and are the correct size for all of your passengers. If your boat is over 16 feet, you will need to make sure you have an approved throwable device on board as well. Remember, boating safety is no accident.
Plan your summer getaway with Founders Federal Credit Union. This year, make your dream adventure a reality with special rates on recreational vehicle loans. And for a limited time, we'll beat your current rate by 2%. Whether you're interested in an RV, motorcycle, or a boat, and you're envisioning a cross-country road trip, a weekend escape to the mountains, or spontaneous journeys wherever the road might take you, Founders makes it easy to finance your dream vehicle. Enjoy the freedom to explore, knowing you've locked in a great rate. Our team is here to help you every step of the way, from application to adventure. Don't let high rates hold you back. Let Founders help you save and get moving on your next big journey. Visit foundersfcu.com/RV loans for more details. Promotional rate ends July 31st, 2026. That's foundersfcu.com/RV loans. Terms and conditions apply. Membership qualification required.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
In 2012, inside Clemson football's weight room, a different kind of barbell was developed. The Tsunami Bar is a flexible, oscillating bar designed to enhance high-intensity training while helping reduce joint stress. Unlike traditional rigid bars, it moves. That movement forces your stabilizer muscles to activate, your core to engage, and your body to produce force more efficiently. The result is improved strength, better balance, and more functional performance. Tsunami Bar Sports continues to provide innovative, dynamic training solutions that empower individuals of all fitness levels to reach their peak potential. Whether you're training for general fitness, building resilience, or improving rotational strength for sports like golf, the Tsunami Bar challenges your body in ways traditional equipment cannot. Learn more at tsunamibarsports.com.
Hey, we're out of time. Didn't mean for the show to go by so quickly, but it did. We enjoyed it. We'll do it again tomorrow night, Talking Tuesday. We'll have some good stuff for you. Make plans to be with us. Check out everything online. And thank you, Plumber. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.